Hello everybody, Orca79 here. Just a little extra before the next video. The youth intake has arrived. It's saying it's a below average intake this year. I haven't got the youth thing set up right, so we'll just give Charlie Fawkes, he's probably the best intake. We'll give him a nickname as Walshy99. Okay, Kevin Lilly, he's the second best, so we can give him a nickname of I Livesy. And we have Jordan Greenwich, a Guyanese striker slash winger. We'll give him a nickname as well. He can be the third one that we do. So he can be AB Bullen. So there you go. So we'll track these as well as the previous three from last year, and we'll see how they get on throughout the course of the save. So I shall back on for the next game. What did we say the next game was going to be? I forget now. It is. We say Wickham and Millwall, didn't we? So yeah, so I'll play the next two games offline. And we'll come back for the Wickham game. Okay. Hello everybody, Orca79 here again, and welcome to the 20th episode of the part-time to big-time save. Really, on a cake, fun fair, balloons, the works are coming out. I've really enjoyed doing it and continuing to do it, as I hope you are too. So let's just take a quick look at the housekeeping from the last episode. We beat Cambridge 1-0, as you may remember. Then we had Burton, which we beat 2-1. Rodell Richards continuing his excellent form, and Callum Hendry with a goal there. We had 9 bookings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red card there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Red card there. So we finished with 9 men, but clung on for the win. So that was a bit of a crazy one. Odebarju with 2 assists. Played really well there. So that affects us a little bit with suspensions for the next game. But we managed to beat Walsall 3-1. O'Hora, Twine and Smith with the goals there. And again, we were better again. So obviously missing a few people from suspension, so that wasn't ideal. Now this game has come just a few days after that one. It's probably the Easter weekend, I would imagine, Friday, Monday. So here we are, due to play Wickham. And this is the team that we're going with. Got Pim in the nets. Samuels is switching to right back. Ashby's having to come in at centre back because O'Hora isn't exactly. In fact, we'll start O'Hora and we'll bring Ashby on. Yeah, okay. And Carter and Harvey in the back four. Yeah. Kasumo, Giabe and Ollie Lee in midfield. Scott Twine in the hole, and Rodell Richards and Mohamed Isa up front. That's the side we're going. We're giving Sonny Perkins a rest. 1, 2, yeah, we've got the 5 lone players in. BL's been terrible for us, so he's going to be heading back to Blackburn with his tail between his legs. So that is the side we are going with for today's game. So let's see if we can finish the season strongly. Yeah, a couple of people aren't fit, so we're going to have to make some changes, as kind of is the norm really. I'm not quite sure what kind of pre-season MK Dons had, obviously because I wasn't with the club then, but it's certainly it's just been a constant battle to keep the lads fit. I'm not sure where Wickham are in the league actually. You'd think they'd be one of the favourites. Let's just take a quick look if I can see where they're in the league. Well, the 13th, so I mean they're below us 10 points. Well, sorry, 8 points below us. So yeah, you'd probably say they've underperformed really. But we've come out the gates very slow, whereas Wickham have done the opposite. They've belted out the gates here, so let's see how this carries on. O'Hara's going to have to come off, as is Samuels at some point, and probably Twine. That would be the 3 substitutions I'll be looking to make after half time. Twine with the ball in, and Carter has nodded that past the keeper, in off the bar. And that's the kind of quality Twine can give us. I'm thinking next season of going back to the straight 4-3-3, which might make Twine expendable. I mean, I could get, if I can get 3 million for him, I might just do that and look to use the funds elsewhere. He's well onside, I don't know why they're checking that. And look to use the funds elsewhere. Maybe get a commanding centre back, a commanding midfielder, and you know, a goalkeeper. Even though, to be fair, Pim has really stepped up ever since I started talking about replacing him. Might be better use rather than Twine. It's a little bit of a luxury in the hole. I've never really enjoyed playing people in the hole there, and he has really good games, but he also goes missing quite a lot of the time. So I'm not entirely sure. We'll just have to see. But it's likely to be an option. I imagine I can move him on for hopefully close to the 3 million mark, and I might just do that. So we'll see. As we break early chance, Isa, it's a good save for the keeper. We'll see what happens in the off season. I'm sure I'm going to have many options are going to become available to me, of which that is one of them. Samuels is going to have to take him off after this highlight, as well as O'Hara. I've just realised, I hope I've got enough defenders on the bench to make 2 changes there. Should have. Playing it around quite nicely here. But Wickham have won the ball back. And he's one-on-one with the keeper, and he's drilled it. Thierry Nevers. So yeah, 1-1. I always like to leave it a few minutes before I make some subs just after a goal. Looks like O'Hara just missed the interception there, but it was a tricky one to intercept, and he blasted it past the keeper. So let's just wait just a couple of minutes before making the change. I don't like to do it straight after a goal. That's just enough time. Okay, so what can I bring on here? Ashby can come on there, and Odebajo can come on for him. Okay, Odebajo needed resting for this game, but he's been superb for me since I've took over. We'll see how he. I have bought a right back for next season. It's only a free transfer. It's more a depth one to Twine, and just as the talk of me selling him has turned him into some sort of Juninho. That was a fantastic goal, that is. I have bought a right back, but it's more a depth one to give Odebajo a rest. That's a lovely goal, isn't it? Odebajo, he's the first choice right back, and he's played really well. But yeah, I mean, his stats could be better. He's 29 years old, so bringing in the other right back is a good thing. So we'll see how that goes. Scott Twine needs to be substituted now after he's rattled that one in, and we shall substitute him. I can put Giabi there and then bring Ford on. That would be the best thing to do there, I think. Carter's looking pretty tired out there. And that looks like a more carbon copy of the previous corner there, so we know how they like the routines. So let's just keep them out, shall we please? Hang on for the last 10 minutes and take another win. Would be lovely. Looks like another highlight for Wickham, a long throw in. And they've scored. Curtis Thompson has looped a header over the keeper. Sorry, that was my dog there. I didn't like that call. It's been disallowed for offside. So yeah, that was disallowed for offside. It must have been a borderline call. So hopefully we can just hang on now for the last few minutes or so. The dog got a bit excited with that call, and Isa has absolutely bulleted a header in the back of the net to put the game to bed. Who crossed that? It was a beautiful cross in. Was it Richards? No, Odebaggio. And that's a fantastic. The keeper probably should have done better, but it was the sheer pace on the header that. It's not even close at offside. A sheer pace on the header that took it past Stockdale, and another win for MK Dons. I think that's 3 on the bounce. Too late, unfortunately, for a playoff run, but it'll be something I'll be looking at next season. We'll be trying to get into the playoffs with this team. And there we go. I mean, we're 6 points off the playoffs now, which is probably a little bit too much to do. But yeah, fantastic. It was a local derby, that as well, so that's excellent. We've got a couple of transfers in for next season which are trying to go through. I think that's a little bit too much for this guy. It's Harry Leonard. It's a striker from Blackburn, on the youth team. He's got 12 to 17 finishing at 19 years old. I think he'd be a great player to get, but I just want him for a little bit less than they're trying to get for him. Take that to 230. Let's bounce it back to them. Isa's a little jaded and do with a rest. Morecambe have been relegated. That's not good for Morecambe. And satisfied with a win. So there we go. So we will play. I'll play the Crew match offline. Come back for the Millwall match, and we'll see how we do there. Okay, so here we are with the second match of the episode. Let's show you what happened in the last game. Obviously beat Wycombe 3-1. We got beat 3-1 away at Crew in a game where we were by far the better side. We had 9 shots on target. They had 5 and scored 3. Pim with a 6.2 rating, going back, one massive step backwards for him. But the rest of the game we really dominated, and with 5 better, to be honest. It was a very disappointing defeat. But these things happen. It's football. So here we are with the team going into the Millwall match. Now Millwall are 2nd in the league, I think, or 3rd. So yeah, they'll be looking to beat this, to put pressure on the automatic promotion. So let's see the team we're going into. Pim and Nets, Odebaggio, O'Hora, Carter and Samuels. Again, O'Hora and Carter are a little short on fitness, as is Odebaggio, to be honest, but do have to battle through. Kasumu, Perkins and Smith in the midfield. Twine in the hole, and Hendry and Olusanya in attack. I've had to rest Isa. He's absolutely dead on his feet. So he's had to rest him. Richards has picked up an injury. He's out for 2 weeks. So yes, we're going to go Hendry and Olusanya up front. It's a very untested front to that. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but we'll see how it goes. So let's kick off and see if we can turn Millwall over here. They've got Darling in their team, the guy we sold for, was it 1.5 million in the end, was it? 1.5 million, which is good money for us, that. So they've got him starting. Let's hope we can ruin his return to the MK Dons Stadium. Perkins, again, with a booking. I mean, this guy, he's going to miss more games than he started. He's had 9 appearances for us and 7 bookings, and I don't know if this one's included, so that would be 10 appearances and 8 bookings, which is, I mean, it's a phenomenal record. But he can't keep continuing to get booked like he does. And he's now got a calf strain, so that's not ideal. Yeah, looks like he's struggling, so Yeah, I'll bring on Anthony forward for him. So that's far from ideal, an early sub like that, especially when I need to keep at least one sub back for O'Hora, Carter or Odebarju, or ideally two of them three are going to have to come off. Looks like they've lost Jed Wallace to an injury. He's definitely one of their better players. What's he like on this? Yeah, I mean between 950,000 and 9.6 million. That's quite a big broad range. But he is one of the better players for Millwall. He's scored 20 goals this season. So yeah, he's definitely up there. They would have got relegated last season from the Championship, so they're trying to bounce back at the first occasion. Far from pleased, we've not played well at all. So let's give them that. I can't remember. Has there been a highlight? I can't remember if there was. Well, here's a highlight, definitely. Twine steps up. And the keeper saves it. Twine played well in the last game, even though we got beat. Twine played really well there. I think he's heard my rumblings and I might sell him. He wants to stay at the club. He's delivered a ball there. We're going to bring it back in. Henry the near post. Twine. How many attempts do we want at goal in this this highlight? Yeah, he really has played well. So he's maybe rethinking my plans. I'm thinking now, if we get a good pre-season in him, keep him fit, then maybe I don't need to change. I can play that player in the hole. I don't have so many options. We'll have to see. Right, I'm gonna have to make. After this highlight, we'll make a change. Deep ball in Carter at the near post. I'm not sure what he's doing up there, unless it was stayed up from a corner maybe. But I mean, I've tried to buy Carter. I'd like to buy Carter, but Blackburn want too much for him. But you know, if I do sell Twine, I'd look to bring in Carter. If I can get him for between 1 million and 1.5 million, I think that would be good business. We'll just have to see on that one. But I'd certainly like to make it a permanent transfer. I think, when does his contract run out actually? Contract expires this summer. So that is something to keep a real eye on. Maybe if he doesn't sign a new contract, I can get him for free. And that would just be perfect. So let's take O'Hora off, put Lewington on. Odebarju is really struggling. So he's going to come off for Ashby. And let's see if we can hang on to this 1-0 win, which would be superb. Up to 8th position. The mandate was mid-table, once I took over, and I think I've exceeded that. So let's hopefully, say, a full off-season, get my players in. The manager always says that, doesn't he? Get the players I want in. And hopefully kick on with a promotion push for next year, which is what I'm going to be after. This is a little bit concerned about this, given the fitness levels of our players here. Oh, Pym saves. We're straight at him, but it's allowed to be saved. I mean, look, we've got four or five players who are absolutely dead on the feet here. I think we have got a week's rest till the next game, so I might be able to get some people back fit. And that's a 1-0 win. That is a superb. Look at the core of the team there, and a fantastic rating. The strikers didn't really perform. But when you've got Carter and an 8.7 leaping like salmons for balls in, who needs strikers, eh? We might play Pep, might just play no strikers. It worked for Pep, it can work for us. So there we go, a fantastic result. Darling suffers defeat against the former club. Well, it's his loss. So there you go, so I hope you enjoyed that. We've only 2 games left of the season, isn't there? So the Ipswich and the Salford game. It's 10 games, so we shoot 10 days to the Ipswich game. So hopefully we can get some energy back in the legs. So what we'll do, we'll come back for obviously these last 2 games of the season, and then we'll do a season-ending summary. And yeah, that'll be the next episode. So thank you very, very much for the continued support, as always. Really do appreciate you spending your time watching these videos. Click a link at the end of the video to subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, and I shall see you soon. Thank you. Bye.